Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, how are you student? How is life? How is everything? Welcome back to my class standardized test of structure. This is our meeting 10. And today's meeting we are going to talk about conditional sentences. Have you ever heard about it? I'm sure you have already heard about it, right? Now let's talk about it deeper and deeper. Let's check it out. So, when we are talking about conditional sentences, have you ever heard about this statement? I am 100 sure that all of you, or maybe most of you, has already quite familiar with the statement, right? Conditional sentences, like if I were you, I would cry. If I blah blah blah, and etc. Right? That's the thing that we are going to discuss here today. I'm not going to talk about a lot about it. However, I'm going to just remind you about this concept of conditional sentences, because this is also part of our discussion, part of the topic that we need to cover for this semester in the class of standardized test of structure. Okay, now let's take a look at this. This is the basic definition, right? Everybody knows it, conditional sentences. Or do you have you do not know about this? Let me see. Let me define it for you. The sentence of conditional sentences can be used to express cause and effect, right? Cause and effect. That's the key point of the conditional sentences here. The possibility of something happening, or to express presupposition for things that are not actually possible. So actually, when we are making a statement using conditional sentences, it means like the statement is not actually happen, or it's not actually possible. And as you know, there are 4 types of conditional sentences, and each of which use a different tenses, right? However, basically all conditional sentences consist of if clause and the main clauses, right? Now let's take a look at this. We are going to talk about all those 4 types of conditional sentences here. Now, conditional sentences type 0. When we are making this kind of type 0, it means it is used to state the cause and effect of the fact that is generally known to be true. If thing A happen, it will cause things B. That's the concept, yeah, the basic concept here. Let's take a look at this. Wait. Here you go. If things A happen, it will cause things B. That's the basic concept of conditional sentence type O or type 0. The formula, you can see it by yourself. Simple present tense, simple present tense, simple present tense, or if simple present tense. We can put if whether it's at the beginning of the sentence or maybe in the middle. That's no problem at all. That's perfectly fine wherever you want to put the words if in the sentence. Example like is this one. If you hit butter, it melts. Like here, I put the if here. If you hit butter, it melts. If you train a lot, you will be successful person, for example. The ground gets wet if it rains. If we burn paper, it becomes ash. I feel sick if I eat too much. If you don't brush your teeth, you'll get cavities. And the last example here about conditional sentence type 0 is when people smoke cigarettes, their health suffers, right? All of this example here is the possibility when we do something, we will have the effect of the other things, right? That's what we call it, conditional sentence type 0. And next one is the conditional sentence type 1. This is the types of conditional sentence. Conditional sentence type 1 is used to express something that is very likely to happen in the future if we do something. If this is the formula, you can see it by yourself. Now here's the example. If you go now, you will arrive there on time. Can you see that? We will use this one. The future tenses here that we are going to use. Will. I will buy the new bike if I pass the exam. So the statement that was stated first is if I pass the exam, I will buy. This is the effect of the first statement here. If I meet him, I will introduce myself. I will cook dinner tonight if you clean the house, right? That's the example. You can read it by yourself. There are a lot of example of conditional sentence types 1. The basic principle is we have to use present tense and also the future tense, because this is the possibility that is the biggest possibility that's going to happen if we do some things. So this is the conditional sentence type 2, right? When we are having conditional sentence type 2, usually it is used to express something that is unrealistic or very unlikely to happen. So here is the key point here. Unrealistic, wait a minute, here this one. Unrealistic and also very unlikely to happen. So it's something like impossible. So that's why when you use this conditional sentence type 2, it means that we are talking about something that unrealistic, and the formula itself like if simple past and present conditional, or present conditional plus if and simple past. Here is the example. If I live in Seoul, tonight I would go to that concert. Can you imagine the situation here? Yes, I do not live in the Seoul. That's the reality. And tonight, of course, it's impossible for me to go to that concert. That's the real situation of this statement of conditional sentence type 2 here. Another example is I would play roller coaster every day if I own a theme park. Of course, the reality is I do not have my own theme park. So that's why I will not, or I cannot go to play roller coaster every day. That's impossible thing that can happen to me, because own a theme park seems like very impossible for me. That's the example of conditional sentence type 2. Okay, and the last one, this is conditional sentence type 3. And conditional sentence type 3 is used to convey presupposition for events that have occurred in the past. Since it has already happened and cannot be changed in reality, we can only state what will happen if the event is different from the reality. So here is the formula: if plus past perfect and perfect conditional. And this is the example. If I had left my house earlier, I would have missed the train. In this sentence, we can say that the fact is I left home late, so I missed the train. And the next example is if she had called me yesterday, I would have been happy. So can you guess this? The fact is yesterday he didn't call, so of course I'm not happy now, right? Okay, that's all about the conditional sentences. I hope you understand about it. Thank you so much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.